Good morning and welcome to another beautiful day on Oweleketv. It is, of course, a beautiful day, even though it's raining in this part of Abuja. I don't know how it is in your area, those of you in Niger, those of you in, what's it called? Jos, Kaduna, those of you in Nasarawa, those of you in Kwara State. How is it? Gwagwalada Kingdom.
Mr. Coded.
Yeah.
I hope you're not heading there for this weekend.
Well, going to Gwagwalada is beautiful. Those of you in Gwagwalada, you are wonderful people. That's it. Except for people in Kuje. I don't know. I don't.
Kuje done to you?
I don't know. Maybe because of
serve you breakfast from that
maybe because the prison is there. Okay. Sometimes you feel when they call Kuje, the first thing that comes to your mind is the maximum prison. Welcome to the newspaper review for this wonderful day. It's good to get the day started on a beautiful note. Yeah, these papers are having so many stories, but then we just take a few out of it. Then you pick a copy much later to go through anyone that's of interest to you, beginning from the Nation's newspaper, where the first headline says, Sheyi Tinubu launches initiative to fight maternal infant mortality. This one says, Canada bans visiting visa holders from work permit. Rule of law must serve all, says NBA president. Rule of law must serve all, says NBA president. Details on page 2, yeah. Then this one says striking doctors risk losing pay. Federal government, just one writer to that story, federal government threatened to invoke no work, no pay rule. All right, that's for doctors. Please quiz Ajero over NLC terror suspect tenant. Okay, page 2 is where you get that. Then president off to China. Okay, that's page 3. And finally, the big story, 50% electricity subsidy for varsity teaching hospitals. Just one writer to that story, president has given approval, says minister. That's a good one. But then, I don't know. Why the segregation? We'll talk more about that. So that's all. Which of the papers do we have? I think it has to be male, female, then we get to the male again.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ramsey. Let's take a look at the Punch newspaper this morning and all the juicy headlines that come with the paper. All right. The first headline says, Government jobs bizarre. State wages rise by 900 billion naira. Then the next headline says, Tinubu okay 50% electricity subsidy for hospital and others. Detail reads on page 19 of the Punch newspaper. And then the next headline says, NYSC bar only graduate without IT experience. I take that story again. NYSC bars poly graduate without IT experience. And then the big story says, 200 families displaced as NAF demolishes houses. I take that big story again. 200 families displaced as NAF demolishes houses. And then there's one right after that story. Soldier deploy inside properties owner demand compensation. Federal government keeps mum. I think this is cool, but then the federal government should try and compensate people. You know, losing your property is not an easy thing to let go on.
Absolutely.
All right. So the next the two more headlines to our headlines for today. We have Canada ends visitor to work permit policy. Detail read on page 28 of Punch newspaper. And then the last headline that I will take is no work, no pay threat won't stop strike. Resident doctors. That's all the package we have on the Punch newspaper. For further reading, do well to grab a copy. Over to you, Michael.
Thank you, Sidato. Straight to the Daily Trust. Today, Friday, 30th of August, 2024. The first headline, crash food prices in 1 month. Federal government tells traders. Students seek review of federal government's 18-year admission eligibility. And Zamfara residents killed 37 bandits. Long straight to the big story on the Daily Trust today. Nigerians paid 1.04 billion ransom to kidnappers in 1 year, according to report. To writers to that story, 1,056 killed, 7,568 abductees in 1,130 incidents. Now, the next rider, credible intelligence lacking. That's coming from former AIG. And then ex-DSS boss wants emergency declared on security. Troops neutralized 1,166 terrorists in 29 days, coming from defense headquarters. And away from that, I returned $10,000 to please Allah. That is coming from airport worker. That is good. I mean, you got $10,000 and there's hard economy and you returned it to please Allah.
Yeah, I saw that story and I was so pleased with the young man. He actually went in to clean the aircraft and he found that money and he returned it. A young boy from the north. A young boy from the north.
In the plane.
Oh
Dear
my goodness,
God.
oh my goodness. That's like God made it available for you in return.
Well, but that's somebody
somebody's sweat, yeah.
Somebody's sweat.
Somebody's sweat, forget it. Oh God.
Well,
Please.
No, it happens.
We
It
really
happens.
need something that will make us forget such
It happens.
amount of
The
money.
last headline I'll take on the Daily Trust newspaper today is CBN report warns of rising financial strains for citizens. Do well to pick a copy of the Daily Trust and enjoy. Back to you, Ramsey.
Thank you very much, Michael. Let's quickly get to the Daily Times newspaper this morning. And on the Daily Times newspaper to the left-hand side, this one says Tinubu calls for strengthened collaboration between Nigeria and Brazil on aviation. This one is of interest to me. I'm going to take it much later. The big story said NLC can't be intimidated, says Ajero, after police interrogation. Then two writers to that story says NLC remains committed to defending the rights of Nigerian workers. Real reason why police invited NLC president emerges. If you want to know what the reason is, just pick a copy of the Daily Times newspaper. Then let's look at inflation. FCCPC gives Nigerian traders 1 month to slash price or face penalty. I think this is worth talking about on the big story because so many things happening right now. Okay, so let's just look at this. Troops neutralized 1,166 terrorists, arrested 1,096 suspected terrorists in August. That's Defense Headquarters saying that. And finally,
it's still rampant.
It's still rampant.
Just heard a news a few days ago that one of our students was kidnapped, and they asked them to pay ransom of 400 million.
In school.
Yeah,
Which
in our group, school group, that's
Okay.
IVB. That they asked them to pay 400 million. For
400 million.
for
How
crying
many
out loud.
students?
I think
No,
yesterday.
she's not a student. She has passed out already.
Yesterday, the president said these people, if arrested, they should face the full wrath of the law. That's what the president said yesterday.
All kidnappers right
That
now.
should be implemented because others can take caution
Yeah.
when they see these things happening. But when you arrest someone today, then tomorrow, godfatherism and all this, I know somebody comes in and the
them
people
under
are being released
amnesty and
or maybe being incorporated into the society. I don't
them.
think that's okay.
That's a good thing.
Let's just see how that is going to go. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, we'll bring you the big story. Don't go nowhere.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleketv. Visit our website at www.oweleket.tv for a thrilling journey. Oweleketv, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back from the break. It is still outnumbered, reaching you live on the red from the Federal Capital Territory on this ready day. The rain couldn't hold us back because you deserve to know, especially the big story. Are you still hungry or you have enough to buy now? Has someone been taking advantage
You're
of
still
you?
hungry.
You're still hungry?
Yes.
You're still hungry?
Because the
Nigerians,
price in
just
the
let us
market
know.
is getting too much.
Nigerians,
Every day is skyrocketing. As
let
if we
us
are going
know.
To space. The prices is just going up as if it's going to space.
They said in Nigeria, if the price of anything goes up, it doesn't come down anymore. But
exactly.
then, there is a statement coming up this morning from FCCPC as they give traders 1 month to slash down the prices of commodities.
How is that possible?
Well, let's look at the story. It's actually on the papers this morning, and in some of the media houses, the national television and all of that, they are talking about it this morning. And of course, Oweleketv is not an exception. We need to talk about it because Nigerians are hungry right now, and anything that has to do with stories like this, it will be of interest. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, that is FCCPC, has issued a 1-month notice to traders and other market stakeholders involved in exploitative pricing to crash the price of goods. Then when I saw this, I was like, where did the exploitation started from? The hike in price of commodities, where did it started from? What caused it? Have we treated the root before we get to the branches? A lot of people are looking at the fact that, well, the tree is no longer yielding good fruits. But then you need to look at, first of all, the root. You look at the stem, you look at the branches, then you get to the fruit itself. But then this is a good one. You know why I said it's a good one? There was a time that a research was carried out, I think in FCT here, and a store was shut down, was closed because they were selling rice. All right. I don't know. Something was wrong with the rice, whether it was not packaged well or it was repackaged, or maybe there was some form of exploitation. And that store was shut down. And we heard that these people are going to run. After then, we felt the price of commodity was going to crash. Now, there is a new director. Yesterday, the executive vice chairman of the FCCPC, talking about Tunji Bello, gave the order at one-day stakeholders engagement on exploitative pricing in Abuja FCT. According to Bello, the commission will begin enforcement after the expiration of the notice.
Absolutely.
I think
I love that moratorium he gave yesterday because I think it's been unreasonable for both individuals and corporate entities to have market skyrocketing prices on goods, commodities every time. And remember also the associations that are there, they are very unethical. And when we come to market associations, they'll be very unethical when it comes to unnecessary taxations on those people. Remember, I talked about a time of farmers moving goods from the farm, and then getting to the road, the prices changes before it gets to the market. What happens? Unnecessary taxations. All these levy, these tax force, these, where did they come from? Are they government licensed? Where are they coming from? That's what he's talking about. Now, these are the factors that necessitated the unwholesome skyrocketing prices that you have seen. Now, if FCCP is coming to say 1 month ultimatum or moratorium is given to you guys to actually bring down this price, let's come to the table and discuss what are the factors, underlying factors, apart from the obvious, the fuel increase, the inflation in fuel, or the nature, the floating nature of naira and forex exchange, which has also necessitated the increase of price on commodities. Now, I remember that there was a time we spoke about people in the market, individuals and market entities and corporate entities being the ones that are skyrocketing these prices. Like they will just come and place.
Every store you enter now is a different price.
Exactly.
Even they could be sharing. In fact, the next
store's price.
The price is different from this one. So everybody want to make profit. Exploitation.
Yes, they want to make profit, but I think the problem is there. We don't put policies in place from the beginning, and then when things get out of hand, we want to bring in policy. It's just
control measures.
Yes, it's just like you carry a fish, you dry it, you let it dry out, and then all of a sudden you would say you want to come out. Throwing that fish is not possible.
I think it's under section.
If they can
under section 155 that violators, either individuals or corporate entities that engages in unwholesome, especially when you know that these goods and commodities
but let them
have a stable price
control policy. If they put that and they make sure that
and they follow it,
they follow it. I think it's going to
actually because
it's not there. It's not there, and it's not being implemented.
So tax force penalizing these people.
Even
that
if the tax
engage
force are
in
there, the marketers
unreasonable
can
price
still bribe
skyrocketing.
them.
I
Do you understand?
think
Even
that's
if the
one
tax
thing.
force are there, the marketers can still
I don't know.
bribe
That's what
them.
he's
What
saying.
the government is even interested in more is you go, they call it one business premises, they call this one FRS. These are little money they collect from the traders.
Yeah.
It's as if the federal government or maybe the people concerned are more interested in the money, the levies they collect from the traders.
Yeah, they make
But
the
what
traders,
the consumers, all right, feel
The pain of the
getting,
consumers
yes,
is not
they don't
considered.
care about it, and that's not right. Because if you go, like, there is a supermarket very close to my house. Every day, anytime you go there, just buy something and go and return. The price has increased. Has she gone to the market?
And
in
also,
just
I noticed
these
something.
few
I
days?
noticed something with the traders. All this levy we are talking about, they don't complain about it. The very moment you go to buy something in the market and you complain, why is the price up? They will say,
are you not in
Are you
Nigeria?
not in Nigeria?
That's the question they will ask.
Before they always complain about transportation. Do you understand? All this levy, they don't complain about it. If you talk to 90% of market
They'll
women,
tell you.
they don't complain about levy.
I think if
They
FCCP is telling us that either individual or corporate entities will now start facing after 1 month.
They've been telling us about this
they've been
policy.
told now. So
2
let's see
months
if it
ago, they
works.
said they were going to put
Let's see if
price
it works.
control and they will
Yeah,
implement it.
yeah.
They will
But we didn't see
Since
anything.
That time,
Because-
granola
because-
oil was 1,003. That time that we heard about that implementation, the new policy, price tag control will be put in place, and they make sure that it's properly implemented. Now, granola oil is 1,007 in my area. That's how many months ago? 3 months ago.
3
We heard
months
this
ago.
Today, in 4 months' time,
A bag
we
of
heard for
rice,
this
a
2,000
bag of
naira.
rice is going for as much as 80-something thousand.
I think
now.
I need the FCCP to work with the court, because the courts are the ones that will enforce the severe penalties,
Okay.
either in fines or imprisonment if found guilty. Either individual or corporate entities, whoever is found guilty, be penalized. That's why I need the new CJN that was just Kekereku to also work with FCCP to see that these penalties are enforced, so that those in the market will since you're selling higher than this one, or they will arrest you.
Yeah.
When you start hearing that,
They
everybody
don't
will
they
crash the
arrest
price.
But the
people,
truth is that there can be a
definitely
corporate,
everybody
there can be a
will sit up.
unified price, because
They
everybody,
can,
no,
they
everybody.
can.
Okay,
If
let,
there is a
let me tell you
policy
something.
there that has
This
been
is what
put
I
in
mean.
place,
This
I
is
think
what
they
this
can.
is what I
Penalize
mean.
offenders
Yes,
are
This is what I
exactly.
mean.
Okay.
You're buying your goods
Okay.
from a different manufacturer. I am buying from a different producer. I beg your pardon. From different producer. The way this person is selling to me is different. The way you are selling is different. Where I am transporting from is different. Where you are transporting from is different. You may decide to sell at a cheaper price than this person is selling
That is
because of
coming
the
from
distance.
far, yeah.
You remember during fuel scarcity, somebody was saying we are taking this fuel all the way from Lagos to the north.
Yeah.
When they were buying at 1,000 naira, it was around 700 this way because of the distance. You know, so some of these factors also play out.
Yeah.
But then what we are saying is the excessive exploitation by some traders is so uncalled for. It's not
manufacturers,
necessary. And manufacturers, these things
I
should
think
be checked.
that's the place they should start checking
This
from.
this
like
this
the
should be checked.
manufacturers, they should
The
check them
manufacturers
out.
and the
Competitive
producers.
prices.
Too much.
All right. Well, thank you, Sadatu, and thank you, Michael. Thank you, viewers, for being there. This is going to be the size of the big story on Outnumber this morning. We want to take, should I say, a little break, because this is Friday. We'll see you again, and that's going to be on Monday. Bye-bye, and have a lovely weekend.